Please slow down, hold on. This is Dakarai, and this is a YYZ Hilightz exclusive.
How are you doing? You're live at YYZ Hilightz. It's your boy Jamal Williams, and I am at Live Thursdays, November 14th, and I have the pleasure of interviewing an entertainer, a songwriter, a singer, a dancer, a producer, none other than your boy, Dakarai.
How's it going?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
How you feeling, brother?
Not nervous anymore. We did a sound check, so I feel good.
Okay, so we are here at Live Thursdays, and it's always popping at this spot. It is always popping, and the reason we are here because we're about to see you do a full showcase, a full set.
Yeah.
How you feeling about that, man?
Good. It doesn't happen often enough. I'm just a lot of times when we do gigs, it's usually a 10-minute set or maybe a half-hour set. But this is nice to get about a full hour to work with a band. And that's another first. This is the first time we're actually working with 3 other band members. We have drums, we have bass, and we have a keyboardist as well.
Dope. Yeah. So I was doing a little research.
Oh snap!
You know, a little digging up on you.
Ooh,
you understand? And your name
okay.
is Egyptian.
No, it's not.
It's not Egyptian?
No, it's not.
I looked up your name and it said your name means happy.
It means happiness, but it's from Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Okay, so it's African.
It is African.
You know us Caribbean folks. My bad.
No problem saying that.
So your name means happiness.
It does, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dakarai.
Correct. Yeah.
In any way at all, does your name reflect your music, your brand, your style?
It probably reflects me more as a person.
As a person.
Because I'm known for my smiling.
You are.
Perpetual smiling. No, my music is candid, and that's not always happy. Like for instance, I'll talk about heartbreak in a more. Heartbreak is actually one of the names of my songs.
Yes.
And that's sort of a very honest take of, wanting to hold on to someone that you're in love with. And from a male standpoint, it's not usually that honest or vulnerable, really. So that's the theme usually in my music. It's very candid, and that's not always happy.
So your music, anyone that doesn't know who you are, and they should, one of Toronto's most talented men. I'm telling you heard it here on YYZ Hilightz. I would explain it as R&B, funk, eclectic, but what would you describe your music as, man?
That's a pretty good description. I think I often say it's rooted in R&B.
Yeah.
But it's a fusion of different styles. I often have a lot of electronic elements in there because I'm really a big fan of a lot of electronic fusion.
Cool.
From way back when Prince was doing it to Daft Punk or anybody who's sort of infused those two elements together. So it's usually rooted in R&B. It's fused with electronic elements. Sometimes I'll have some acoustic rock components.
Which is really dope.
Just depends on whatever I'm feeling.
Okay, now slow it down. You slow it down, Dakarai. Slow it down.
Too fast.
Shameless promo. Slow it down. Talk to me about slowing down. What really? Because I listen to your music and you have some themes going on, brother. Like you got some things going on in life.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about slowing down. What inspired that?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I really don't know where that came from. And it was the weirdest thing because that song, and it's hard to believe, was literally conceived and finished within probably about 6 hours.
Wow.
So, in the way I work is I'll lay down vocals, I'll lay down instrumentation, I'll write as just off the cuff at the same time, and I'm recording as I'm doing it. So we're just building all the track throughout about 6 hours for stuff. But I often find myself singing about turmoil or hurt or loss or things like that.
Yeah.
And it comes from personal experience. I think that's what we're trying to do.
Like I said,
Get
you've been through some things.
Off my fitness and stuff. But I think the coolest thing about writing music is that you can find a creative way to say something you felt or a feeling. Some of my best songs have come out of the heat of the moment.
Yes.
I mean, just being enraged or being excited or. I find I write my best work and most of my stuff when I'm pissed off, to be honest. I think if you talk to any songwriter, any creator, there's no formula to how they work or how they create.
I like that. And you've been working with
BeBe Zahara Benet,
right?
Who's the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1.
That's
And,
huge.
well,
Congrats.
it's an honor. It's a pleasure working with BeBe. BeBe is super creative and super talented, and I think people aren't aware of how much of a work ethic takes to go into this type of stuff. BeBe has that, myself, and I brought Andrew into the project to work as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been doing some writing with BeBe myself.
Very cool.
And basically, when it comes to working with other people, it's an interesting, it's a different dynamic because when I'm writing my own stuff, I have to think of everything. I have to think of all the ideas, and I have to sort of piggyback off of them, a concept or something. Whereas with someone like BeBe, he'll say, I want to write a song about being the best drag queen in the world.
Really?
And from that, I have to think of, okay, well, what's a great melody? What's a great lyrical concept? How can we approach this music in a way that's not, ordinary, but still relatable?
So what separates you, Dakarai, from the other artists that's out there, other international artists that's out right now?
I think it's really, I think I grew up with a lot of R&B. And that's my foundation, but I get a little bored. I think it's cool that I want R&B to sort of live on, but I get a little bored easily. So with that said, I think that's where the fusion element comes in. And there's a lot of desire to sort of mix things up and pull different contrasting elements together. And I like dichotomy. So we have a lot of, for example, Slow Down. We have a section in there which is sort of dubstep, but it really isn't. It's kind of got that groove. And with a song called Slow Down, you have all these really fast percussive elements going on. I think that's a good example of how I like to fuse contrasting elements together. So I think that's one way to look at it. I also like to, I'm not limited to one task. I think I do a lot of different things.
You do.
I like to sing, I like to dance, I like to write, produce, play.
And you play instruments?
I play, yeah. I
play How many
keys.
instruments do you play? Yeah.
Just two. I mean, keyboards and guitars.
And guitar.
My main instruments. I don't want to say anything beyond that. Just those two mainly. And voice, of course. That's three, I guess.
And vocals. And the boy can sing.
Oh.
Any projects, anything you just want to shout out, put out there, and then tell us exactly where we could hear your music and where we could see you next, maybe performance-wise.
Well, I'm working on an EP. That's probably the most immediate thing. That will be released independently sometime early next year. The long-term goals, I mean, truthfully, I'm looking to be to get major distribution on a major label and put out a record that I've been working on for a long time now, actually. So, I mean, there's a lot that I have in mind, but the immediate thing is the EP coming out next year. So,
thank you so much for the opportunity to interview, and I wish you all the best tonight. Go kill it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You already know, man.
YYZ Hilightz is the spot.
Dakarai.
Slow down, hold on.